Hello, my name is Mark Taylor. Welcome to the Education on Fire podcast network. This show is sponsored by the National Association for Primary Education. Hello and welcome to the Education on Fire podcast. The place where we share creative and inspiring learning in our schools. Primary Music Special, episode 101. Hello, welcome back to the Education on Fire podcast. I'm here with Carol Aviard and we're going to be talking about our trip into London for the Music and Drama Education Expo. Hi, Carol.
Hi.
So we attended 3 sessions between the two of us, which were fantastic, and also I got to interview a few of the exhibitors as well, which you'll be able to hear those after I've been speaking to Carol. So which was the first one, the session that you went to first of all, and what did you enjoy about it?
So I landed in a vocal workshop. It was about choral music, but really he wasn't discussing in-depth choral music. He was just discussing some singing techniques, and it's always nice to find out you're doing it right. So that was a bonus for me to begin with. We did some warm-ups. We learned how to breathe, which it turns out for breathing, all you do is breathe in and breathe out. And all of the fancy words you hear about breathing and singing, a little bit overrated. It involves breathing in and breathing out again and putting that on a bit of a loop, which we do every day, all of us. So we had that. So that was fun. I met David Lawrence.
Yes,
I
did as well. That was, very exciting.
And David Lawrence is the conductor, the main director for Young Voices. So he's the guy who's conducted me for the last 7 years at Birmingham, waving his arms around, trying to get all of our 6,000 children to sing all at once and succeeding admirably. As you know, I love Young Voices. So to talk to David and have a lovely conversation with him was really, really nice.
And what was really nice for me with that was I was actually just went back to the cloakroom to get the podcast recording stuff just before I was about to do everyone, and he said, "Oh, hi, it's Mark." And he said, "You don't recognise me, do you?" I said, "Yes, I really do recognise you." And we said hello and called
nice.
up, and he said, "I've just been chatting to you," and all that sort of thing. So it's really nice, a sort of overall conversation going on about what we were doing and how we were doing it, and how he listened to the podcast I did with Craig last year when we were doing the music season, and how great I thought it was, and they've been sharing it around. So it's really nice to sort of, like I say,
it was lovely
to meet these people again and actually just chat about what we've been up to, which is brilliant.
So I did that, and then I met Sarah Watts after that.
That was very exciting.
You dragged me over to that stand, didn't you? Saying Sarah Watts is over there, so that was really lovely. I discussed her resources with her and told her how much I loved them and what I was doing with them, and she gave me full permission to do anything I like with them, which I thought she would.
Yeah,
anyway.
Which is lovely, because as you all know, inside the Primary Music on Fire membership site, we've got some bits of things which we recommend, and one of those was the scary fairground song.
Hairy Scary Fairground, because I say it wrong every time.
Exactly. And so just to know the fact that we were talking about that, but we've got their permission to just fully utilise it and make the most, so that we can show you how great they are, and then if you want to go and find out more, then that's that'd be
and
perfect.
I mentioned that it would be fun, I think, to have Sarah in the room to watch me deliver one of her songs, and for her to realise afterwards that it was nothing like how she wrote it in the first place, and to see if she sat there and thought, well, I didn't see it go in that direction, but it's just how I hear it and how I've developed it from her source material. And as she said, no, she would love that. I thought she would.
Yeah, and the exciting thing about that stand was it all comes under Kevin Mayhew, who's the publisher, and to do with Sarah Watts is involved in, and also there was a ukulele one there, and Paul I was chatting to, and he's actually going to come on the podcast and talk us through the ukulele, give us some real insights into how to do that, which was brilliant. I'm really excited about that, and I'll let you know. But also they've got a new online access where they've got some of their song bank that you can use, a little bit like some other organisations are doing as well. But I think they are bringing in their instrumental stuff online as well, like the recorders and the ukulele, which is exciting, I think.
So they had all of Sarah Watts plus many more songs on this hub that you could just call up, and you could sort out this massive song list alphabetically, by topic, by age group. You could sort out however you wanted and choose your songs and make your own song list as well, which was really nice to be able to do, your own playlist. And then yes, you had these add-ons, which would be Erasmus Jazz recorders, which I use a lot of, and the ukulele as add-ons, and then you could stream those directly into your school, if I understood that rightly. But it was basically on the computer, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think that's exactly right. And the other thing is that they were going to giving access to this for free for 3 months, I think. So you had a real good chance of doing it. Yeah. So what we asked, which they very kindly said we could do, is we could have that within the membership site, and we could actually play with it and use it, and then we can actually show you exactly how it works, and And I think that's going to be great. You could actually have the chance to do that, and we can also then pass you on, and so that you can get your own access if you then want to have your own account within school. So that was such a great thing to be able to do.
Yeah, it was. That was lovely, wasn't it? Yeah, and that looked a nice ukulele system, didn't it? I visited Out of the Ark, of course.
Absolutely.
Because I had to say hi. They have a new spring and summer assembly songs, and they gave me a taster CD of that. So that's really, really nice. I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't had time, but I will. It's on my playlist here. It's sat there. You can see it's sat right here, ready to go on, so I can have a listen to that. And they also gave us this leaflet about the Singing School project they've been doing. They've been really busy, haven't they? Yeah. And a wonderful document they've come up with where they've been singing in 2 music hubs. Thousands and thousands of children getting singing embedded in their schools, and the results are fantastic.
Yeah, and it's great. So not only are they a company that produce fantastic songs and great resources for you, both in terms of the books they've got and the CDs, and also the online streaming, and making it as easy as possible. You know, they're pouring lots of their heart and soul, and indeed money, into actually doing actual research, so that you can see actually how beneficial music is, which of course we all know, but you often need this research to be able to then start to hold it up and say to the people and the powers that be, look, we really need more of this, and put it back in the curriculum, or get everyone doing it. And
I'm going to give you the quote from that little girl I was telling you about before, because it's absolutely touched me. There's a little girl, she's in year 3, and she does have some special needs, and it says this girl described her own experience of the project by saying, "Sometimes learning just falls out of my head, but songs don't. I like singing." And that just sums it up, doesn't it? I thought that was just the most precious thing for that little girl to say. It was really lovely.
One of the things that I did was catch up with a few people that you will know from other podcasts and various things that I've done. So I went and visited Mike in Inspireworks and sat and did a little bit of drumming with them on their stall. I mean, it was the biggest stall and the loudest stall that was actually around.
I was chatting to the lady next door.
So that was a lot of fun, and actually they've got some training in July, which I'll find the leaflet for that and put that on the website as well, because I think I'm going to go along. They've got all sorts of stuff which we just to almost sort of really certify great. You in terms of sort of the world music, because they've got so many different options now, and some great deals on some of the things that they produce. So I'm really excited about how that's gonna work out.
Then we had lunch, right?
Then we had lunch. Yeah.
We had lunch at that point.
I chatted to Ollie from Beat Goes On, and he's got some new things that he's doing, including I'm trying to think what it was now. I think he was doing some stuff related to English and singing and body percussion and all of that kind of thing. So he's going to come back on the podcast and actually talk a little bit more about that and exactly how it is that his Beat Goes On company is actually progressing, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it? We saw him later on too, didn't we? After lunch, I went off to see Sue Nichols, fabulous early Key Stage 1 and early years teacher, and she did a whole workshop using parachutes and scrunchies and lycra, which was really, really lovely. That was fab. There was beanbags flying all over the place on these things, and she gave us a lot of free resources as well, which was very nice. So she gave us printouts and access to some MP3s of everything we'd done. There was about 8 songs on there, so that was really generous of her to give us that. And it was what was interesting about that. Was there was such a mixed audience there, from people who run parent and children classes, from people and all the way through to people who were working in reception with 30 children at once, and I was interested in that side of things, because it's all very well when you have a scrunchie or when you have a lycra, and do you know what a lycra is, Mark? I keep mentioning this, but you know that's a big stretchy sheet thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. Rather than someone on a bike. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a great big stretchy sheet, and it looks a bit like a parachute though, and you all hold onto it all the way around. And I was really interested to see how you would do that with 30 children. Do you actually need 3 lycras? Do you need 2 groups? How many would you fit around? You're going to have to go in the hall for that. Or maybe that could be one of your summer activities, because you're going outside to have, just logistically to have that much space is quite difficult, isn't it? Do you have one group sitting down doing the singing while the other's standing up? How are you going to cope if part of it is a singing song, a counting song, and you've got beanbags flying? Because the beanbags hit this lycra and they're fantastic, because guess what they do? They shoot straight back off again. And when you think about having a class of 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, that's just going to be hilarious. Stroke chaos. How are you going to police that? And actually make that a worthwhile activity? rather than somebody's tugging the lycra.
Yeah, exactly.
You can see how it could go, but it's wonderful as well. So I think you need a little bit of thought for that. But I was really interested to see how you could use all of these different resources for entire classes as opposed to small groups of adults holding them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because it all makes a lot of sense. Later on in the day, we went to the ISM Trust, and they were talking about their primary toolkit, which they've got, which it's a free access to everybody, so you can we'll have that link will be in the show notes as well.
That's really worth reading.
It had some fantastic things, but it was interesting because a lot of the things that they were doing and showing us, one of the things we were commenting on afterwards is, of course, you had a whole group of music teachers there doing it, and it all seemed very simple at that point, but then we were trying to sort of reverse it into what's it actually like when actually you've got 30 children doing it, rather than just...
Absolutely.
It's an interesting concept, that, isn't it, when you're sort of delivering a workshop as opposed to what it's actually like in the classroom.
Yes, yeah. And then we just went round and had a real good chat with people. I met a lot of people. Some I hadn't met before, but I knew their names. So that was really lovely to put, faces to names, and other people that we'd met previously.
Absolutely.
And had lovely chats with.
Yeah, I went along and chatted to the guys in Norman's, and I think I've put my order in. If I haven't put it in, I definitely told them I was about to get some more tambourines for my samba bag. So I've got all that going. So, these are people that we use and work with and get along with really well. Yes, and wandered around. It's really interesting. As I said, you'll hear in a minute when I do the interviews, but a DJing company and some early years companies, and just a real great selection of things that are there that people...
It's a super day. Really well worth going. Yeah.
So, take a listen to the interviews that I've done with everyone there. It literally was just in the hall, so you'll hear lots of background noise and all that kind of thing, but hopefully you'll get a good sense of what they offered and actually some different things as well, because remember, we did a recording from the one we went to in Manchester back in October, which was exactly the same organisation but Manchester based rather than London based. So I haven't replicated any of the interviews from people that we've been to before, and then I also went the year before to Manchester, so we've got some different people there, so hopefully you can listen to all of those podcasts over the things and make the most of those. So I hope you enjoy these interviews with the people that I was chatting to from the exhibition, and as I said, we're going to have some things inside the Primary Music on Fire membership site where we're going to go through some of these resources that we were given access to. So just literally go to educationonfire.com/primary music, and there you can sign up and get details and find out more about what's going on. So I hope you enjoy our next few interviews, and Carol, thanks for chatting.
Thanks, bye.
And now I'm back with Ollie from The Beat Goes On. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So we were catching up earlier, and we were talking about all the exciting new things you've done since we chatted on the podcast proper. So just give us a brief insight into what that is, and then we're going to chat properly and have a proper interview later on.
Okay, so I think last time we spoke it was just me. Now we are Team Beat Goes On with kind of at least 6 facilitators going on. We've also broadened what we offer in terms of workshops. So we've still got our main stomp style body percussion, which kind of includes my experience in stomp and also kind of the educational background, samba drumming, junk percussion. One kind of key thing which has been a massive development for us since I last spoke to you is our body percussion with literacy, which is based on work that we've done with Pi Corbett of Talk for Writing. People in the primary sector will certainly kind of have heard of him, and basically what we do with that is we take either children's own written work or lines from books they're reading, and we explore the rhythmic potential when we say these words out loud. So we're exploring pulse and the way that certain syllables, how they're stressed on certain syllables, like the word percussion. The emphasis is on the middle syllable, and then once the children are happy with how they like the rhythms to sound spoken as words, we then adapt them into body percussion rhythms. So it's kind of a creative kinesthetic approach to kind of literacy and music combined.
That sounds great.
It's good fun. It's nice. It's a nice way of kind of engaging children and raising their confidence in both literacy and music simultaneously.
Yeah, one of the things which has come up quite a lot for me recently is the fact that the whole idea of having separate subjects in primary schools specifically
makes no sense. Exactly. Makes no sense. And there's so many obvious links with the arts in general. And actually that's another nice reason why BBC 10 Pieces is still going strong. Yeah. Because obviously it's promoting kind of how responding to music in whichever way you want to, it really broadens that kind of cross-cultural appeal.
Yeah, well, I'd like to dive deep into the 10 Pieces thing and the stuff you do with that sort of stuff as well. So thanks for chatting now.
No worries
we'll go into some proper detail soon. Yeah.
Take care.
Hello, welcome back. Can you tell us your name and what organisation you're here for and exactly how you find the whole experience so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Abby from the School Music Hub, which is a new product that we're launching here at the exhibition. We've been to the exhibitions for a few years and we did sort of some research last year and we just wanted to put together a system to make everything much easier for doing music in schools. So it's our tagline is that it's a seamless school streaming system. So it sort of works along the lines of a karaoke system, but it's got lots of kind of extra added fun things. So you've got the standard karaoke where you can turn the vocals on and off. So you've got the opportunity to learn it alongside the vocal and learn how it goes. But then you can turn them off and you can use it for performance, for assemblies, in the classroom, for anything really. There's also, so the lyrics appear on the screen. They come on sort of line by line. You've got the option to play it just a single line at a time. So if you wanted to see a little bit more how that particular line went, you were having a problem with a line, you can go back. There's also a dyslexia-friendly version of it because we found that a lot of people, there were systems they could use, but it wasn't all-encompassing, it wasn't for everyone, and we just wanted to make a resource that everyone could use. So it's got sort of hundreds of songs in there. You can also upload your own songs and have everything together. So it's a sort of a streaming system for schools that everyone can use, and it's got bolt-ons. So we've got ukulele tutors, we've got recorder tutors, we've got musicals and nativities. So hopefully everything's in one place, so you can do your classrooms, your assemblies, your shows, and stream everything online. That seems to be the way it's going, and it's nice with to have sort of a safeguarding element as well. So at the moment, I think a lot of schools use YouTube, and you've occasionally got the odd inappropriate advert.
Yeah, absolutely, things you can't control.
Absolutely. So it's nice to have everything at the touch of a button, there for you, easy to search, easy to use. We've got things like instructional videos along with a ukulele tutor and things like that, so you know where to place your fingers, what you're playing, how you're doing it. So hopefully everything's all in one. That sort of surmises it.
Absolutely, and also you've got a 3-month free trial at the moment, and we're going to demonstrate a little bit of that inside the Primary Music on File membership site, which would be brilliant, and then we can send them to make sure they can sign up for yours and have a proper look through the whole thing, which would be brilliant. And in terms of the content, is it just related to Kevin Mayhew, or is it broader than that? Or
No, absolutely. So the tutors at the moment are Kevin Mayhew products. So we've got a new ukulele school tutor that we've just launched. We've got a lot of Sarah Watts products going on there, but song-wise, we've got everything from hymns and songs to sort of primary songs, easy songs, to the latest pop songs, things from musicals, The Greatest Showman, Shallow from A Star Is Born. So hopefully a little something for everyone.
Oh, that's fantastic. Lovely. Thanks so much for chatting to me.
Thanks
it's really
for
interesting.
Me.
Thanks, then. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Hello, welcome to the Education and Drama Expo. Can you tell us what's your name, what's your company, and what are you doing here?
Okay, well, thanks for asking me. I'm Claire Seymour, and I run Music Buds, which is a company for offering early years music, basically a set of songs. We've got 72 songs at the moment, and if I just tell you the background to the story. So I was head of music at an international school in the Netherlands and teamed up with the head of early years teaching at the same school, and we were aware that neither of us was meeting the educational needs of the children fully in the way we were teaching, because music should be part of everyday life for the children. Absolutely. And it certainly wasn't. And she recognised this and wanted to include it more in the classroom, and so we got together and we did the learning. We looked at the learning objectives and how we could adapt or incorporate them into music, into songs, which the children would then learn and be learning not only about musical concepts, because it comes in subliminally, but also they'd be covering mathematics, listening with concentration, and all the other things that are so important to them. And so we created a few sets of songs that we would use in our teaching. And gradually the word got around, and other teachers said, can we come and observe you? Can we use your material? And that was the beginning of Music Buds. And from that little seed, so we've grown to be still a start-up business, but doing quite well, really.
And I will have a picture which is going to be on the website as well, so they can see your lovely stall and everything. So, but you've got that resource material in your book, but you've also got a lot of extra sort of sensory stuff as well.
Yeah, so it's very it should be a really basically, our concept was we've got to really enjoy what we're teaching. And if we don't enjoy teaching it, the children are certainly not going to enjoy learning it. And so the songs are all quite fun. And we have a range of props and instruments to go with some of the songs, not all of them. And so, for example, we have a song that, excuse my singing voice because it really isn't good, but we've got a song that's Pass the Ball Around the Ring, and where we just pass a ball in time with the beat around the ring. So it's pass the ball around the ring as quickly as can be. And obviously the teacher is modelling the pulse, but the children are learning social cooperation, social interaction, etc. in it. And then we also have instrumental songs so that the children have because I'm a music teacher, but also I started life as an orchestral performer. And so it's about instrumental discipline and about starting and stopping at the same time, listening to each other, all the things that don't seem, in my mind, to be incorporated in all teaching methods. And so we've just incorporated the whole thing into our programme, and that's us.
Fantastic. Well, as I said, we'll have pictures, but also have a link to the website and all of that kind of thing, so people can see exactly what it is and dive in a bit more.
Oh, that would be great. And if anyone wants any further explanation, they just have to drop us an email.
Fantastic. Lovely. Thanks for chatting to us.
Well, thanks very much for asking me.
So, hello, Belinda. Thanks for chatting to us. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're here doing and what you're providing?
I've got a series of music theory books and a series of apps to make music fun and accessible, because music theory is how music actually works, and that makes me excited and gets lots of people put off it because it sounds like the boring bit, but actually it's the fun bit, and that's what I'm all about with my music theory and apps and books.
And give us an idea of the range that you cover, because I know here you showed me some stuff that even scared me as a professional musician in terms of the later, but it starts literally from the beginning, doesn't it?
Yeah, the first 3 books are Faces in the Spaces, Cows Eating Grass and Down an Escalator Backwards, and they start right at the very beginning, just drawing notes and drawing clefs and just getting around those very basic things. But the range goes all the way through up to including grade 8 theory.
And how does that incorporate then into the app? Because you showed me some of that as well, and it looked really great. That sort of game-based idea really works well for children, doesn't it?
I wanted the apps to be games, so that they would be appealing and that you'd be able to get lots of kids, especially teenagers, engaged in doing it. Because if it's boring, if it looks like they're being taught, they don't want to know. So the apps are all games-based, and they start at the very beginning with sliding notes onto staves in spelling different words. And then we go through, and then there's a grade 5 app, is the hardest app we've got. And that one is called Grade 5 The Easy Way. And it's got all of the syllabus of grade 5 associated board theory on it, with keys and relative minors and drawing scales and naming chords and putting cadences in. It covers everything.
And so we're going to have links to all of these things, so you can literally just click straight through from the show notes, and so it'll be very easy to find directly, fingers crossed.
That'll be brilliant.
Lovely. Many thanks for chatting to us.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm now in Future DJs. Can you tell us your name and exactly what it's all about?
Hi, yes, I'm Austin. I'm the CEO of Future DJs. We teach DJing and music production in schools, primary and secondary, all around the country. And we wrote our own study program, which we teach to students.
So tell us a little bit practically how that works. You sort of come in with some gear for people to use. Is it groups? Is it whole classes? What's the deal?
Actually, we mostly do one-to-one, or students can also learn in pairs. We put the equipment into the schools. We do that for free, and then we run individual pair lessons throughout the school day. So typically it might be 15 students in a school having their visiting music tutor lessons.
So essentially it's like, I don't want to do violin, I don't want to be trumpet, but this sounds like something I might want to do. So it's just opening up the door to the new world, as it were, of learning an instrument.
Precisely. That Perry model has worked very well for a long time, and we just fit right into that, but with a DJ tutor, and that just gives people who may not have previously got into music the chance to access it for the first time.
Yeah, fantastic. It's great stuff. And we'll make sure there's a link to the website and all that sort of stuff so people can find out more about it if they're interested in what they want to do.
No,
Thanks
thank you
so much for chatting to me.
Thank you.
I'm just here with Mike and Inspireworks. I'm not going to get him to stop playing, but I will get him just to say hello while he's doing it. Don't stop playing. Just say hi while you're doing this fantastic music, just so you can say hello from everyone before.
Hello, I can talk and drum.
That multitasking is fantastic. Have you had a great day so far?
Yeah, it's been great, thanks, Mark.
Speak to you soon. Thanks for listening to the Education on Fire podcast. For more information of each episode and to get in touch, go to educationonfire.com. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire.